Okay, so we are moving on to the month of June. So we have the Tower, we have full moon in Leo, don't let pride get in your way, and we have the Sun. So overall, I'm picking up on that phrase, the pride comes before the fall. There is a lot of Leo energy specifically here. Um, hmm. Let me sit with this for a second. We did have the Sun card earlier. The Sun card speaks of great abundance and happiness. I'm also picking up on some root and solar plexus chakra stuff because of the yellow in the sun here and the red in this flag. Let me show you the card upright just so you can see better. Um, with the Tower here, I just saw 555 flash in my head. So for the month of June, you could see some sort of unpleasant change. Um, it may feel like a crumbling, but I'm picking up on it may not be as bad as you think it is. And it could also possibly, potentially, maybe be that this tower is caused because of your pride. My mom used to always tell us growing up, um, you may be justified to be upset or angry or whatever the case may be, but you don't have to move in that justified anger. So, yes, so and so might have wronged you, but you don't have to give them back double fold. Let that be spirit's job to get, whoever back. Be very mindful of your pride in the month of June. I want to clarify this just to see in what area of your life this tower moment may happen. Um, if cups come out, we'll take that as in your love life or some sort of emotional situation. If tentacles come out, it may, yeah, okay. So the Two of Cups just flew out as you saw. Don't let your pride get in the way of you experiencing the abundance, the love, the joy that there's potential for in the month of June. Really focus on your root chakra specifically for the reason of stability, creating that stability within yourself and not looking for it in your partner. Yes, when we enter romantic partnership, we do expect our partners to be there for us and um, to, just be there for us and to provide that in some sort of way. Of course, I'm not saying that we can't expect that from our partners. That would be unrealistic. What I am saying is when you are faced with any feelings of like, oh, my partner isn't making me feel stable, blah, 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 like ask yourself first how you could possibly be forsaking yourself. Um, I really get the sense that this is a you issue and not a y'all issue for the month of June, if that makes sense. Um, hmm. Yeah, don't be so, I want to say bullheaded, and I'm getting Taurus energy from just saying that. But with all of this Leo energy showing up here, it could just be, an issue of pride. Um, and with pride and the lion being here in this card, I'm thinking of Lion King for some reason. So I don't know if that movie is significant for you or your partner. But yeah, overall, don't let your pride fuck up a good thing, is what I just got. Because your pride will always come before the fall. And what is that? Let's break down that phrase. That phrase really just means that before the shit hits the fan, another cliche, before you experience that moment where it's like boom, and this is the end all be all, it's over, finito, kaput, it's done, the nails in the coffin. Before that moment comes, we often are in this energy of like, oh well, they said blah 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 and now I'm gonna say this back, and just be in this energy of like vindictiveness and um trying to keep score. That sort of energy is what I'm picking up on. So before you get to this moment, check your pride, check your ego. I'm not saying that your pride and your ego are bad things necessarily, because over here in this camp, we love our shadow side. It's about integrating and bringing balance to the shadow and the light sides of ourselves. But don't let the shadow side overrule and overtake the light side. Even though the cups, two of cups came out, and I said, if we get a cups card, it could be about romantic partnership. I'm really getting the sense that, like I said, it's a you thing, not a y'all thing. Balance your chakras. I literally have never noticed this until right now, but this partner has like a chakra bracelet on. So balance your chakras. Find ways to create that inner balance and that inner stability. Specifically, like I said earlier, I was picking up on root and solar plexus. Um, but take that as it resonates. Those may not be the two chakras that you are personally struggling with this month, but if they are, figure that shit out, work on it, and you could see, improvements in that relationship, and you might be able to avoid this tower moment. Like I said, I was seeing 555 flashing in my eye when I put the card down, so it may not necessarily be like terrible um, changes coming, but just know that some massive transformation is on the way. And it could just be that, you have a lot of work to do on your pride. And by you working on your pride and working through those tougher emotions, you see benefits and rewards in your romantic relationship because of the inner work that you're doing. Okay, that was a little much in comparison from the month of May. Let's move on to July. Okay, so for July, we have you're very close to achieving your goal. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. We have the Moon in reverse. And we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So 2 major arcanas, 3 reversals. Woofda. Okay. So overall, what I'm picking up for the month of July is that there's this illusion of backwards movement. You're feeling defeated. You may be seeing some different things like, oh, well, I thought that I was advancing. I thought that I was getting closer to the finish line. You are. You are getting closer to the finish line. This card literally says you're very close to achieving your goal. You're very close. This is the gibbous moon. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but this moon, when the moon is in this phase, that means that it's almost reaching full moon status. And just at first glance of this picture, you probably think like, oh, it is a full moon, but it's not a full moon yet. It's just very, very close. And you can kind of see like in the shadows here that the moon is like moving toward that direction of fulfillment. I just heard fulfillment. So don't get so caught up in your head this month about, feeling like, oh, I thought I was moving to calmer waters, but it seems like every time I move ahead, I get pushed back into some choppy, shady shit. Or, things just look like they aren't improving. Find a way to balance yourself. And I think really that's the overall message for this year, is to find a way to balance yourself, to balance your energy, balance that feminine and masculine energy. Find those moments where, okay, this is a moment where my feminine energy needs to flourish, or this is a moment where I need to tap heavily into my masculine energy to just get this shit done. Don't pay attention to the illusion of backwards movement, because in healing, there's no such thing as backwards moving. There, and I'm gonna try and find an image and like overlay it on top of this right now. But um, one of my therapists, one of my previous therapists, she used to always say like, it always gets darkest before dawn, and she would use this like loop-de-loop, excuse me, sort of graphic. Actually, I'm just gonna draw it. So she used to draw this image. This is what healing is like. So, ooh, there's these loops, right? And so here is rock bottom when you're starting out on your healing journey and you feel like, okay, this is the worst ever. I don't think I can get any lower than this point. But then little by little, you start to creep your way up and you hit a peak and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm starting to feel good. You know, life is improving. And then something else happens and you're like, fuck, I'm falling again. And so you're back at a low point. But if you notice, like this low point is higher than this low point. And what that means for each of these levels is that, yes, this is a low point, but it doesn't have to be your lowest point. And even if you feel like it is your lowest point, know that that's an illusion and that you have tools that you can use to move yourself forward. And the moon card is all about illusions and things coming to light. Um, when I just looked at that card, I saw, or I was drawn to this creature in the water. So I heard secrets. So there could be some secrets coming to light, especially with these swords here. Swords are about communication, chatter. There could be some sort of gossip during this month. But just know that there's a lot of illusion and a lot of things are just not as they seem for this month in general, is what I'm picking up on. With the Wheel of Fortune here, whatever happens in this month, whatever like major moment happens in this month, because it will be a major moment, just know that it was fated. And this is the number 10 in the major arcana. So it talks about completion. Ooh, that's confirmation again. You're very close to achieving your goal. So whatever comes up, whatever major moment comes up for you this month, don't pay attention to the negativity. Like, find a way to balance yourself and to stick to what's true. You know what is true. Do not pay attention to, people saying like, oh, well, you aren't successful, or just any gossip or chatter. Like, don't pay attention to it this month. Know that you're close to achieving your goal. The worst is almost over. It's faded. Now, I am being drawn to these zodiacs on this card. So we have Aquarius, we have Scorpio, we have Leo, and Taurus. I've been picking up on some underlying Taurus energy. Um, you'll want to pay attention to Venus during this month. Check out what Venus is doing, because that could be a clue or crucial for you. Um, these are all fixed signs of the zodiacs. And with all of the fixed signs being on this card, the Wheel of Fortune, this is what is fated. This is what is going to happen. But you know me. And if you don't know me, if this is your first reading tuning in, first of all, thank you so much for paying attention and getting this far into the reading. But secondly, when it comes to reading tarot, I don't use tarot as a tool of divination to see, like, oh, what's in the cards for me per se. Yeah, I do see like what the energies could be, but I also use it to see a new perspective of a way to get out of stuck or stagnant energy. Because at the end of the day, readers are just, looking into what your current energy is whenever you find the reading. Um, you do have free will. So I want you to keep that in mind, as well as, anyone you may be dealing with, they have free will as well. So, we can say all day, like, oh, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with humans who have free will. So keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that time is not linear. Also, time is fake. So I could say today, like, oh, this is what's going to happen in May or June or whatever. And yeah, it could happen in May or June, but your timeline may be something different. Like, this is a general reading for multiple people. This is not a personal reading. So, I'm not saying take my words with a grain of salt, but what I am saying is don't think that, you just don't have any power or control or any say so. You are an infinite being who has the power to co-create with the universe. The universe does conspire on our behalf and in our favor, but we also got to put some skin in the game as well. Yep, Seven of Pentacles. We got to put skin in the game as well. So for the month of July, you may be planting some seeds that you will not see come to fruition for quite some time. This is interesting. So the month of July is the 7th month of the Gregorian calendar, and we have this card being Seven of Pentacles. So heavy on the Cancer and, ooh, who's at the end of July? Heavy on the Cancer and the Leo energy. I don't know what that means for you, but I'm just picking up on Cancer and Leo energy. But yeah, whatever major moment happens for you in the month of July, you're being guided to not pay attention to the illusions. You're very close to achieving your goal. Very, very close to achieving your goal. Whatever you've planted the seeds for, it's almost harvest time. July is one of the last months of, especially if you're in the Midwest or like anywhere in the North, it's one of the last months of having like real good summer weather before y'all enter into harvest time. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so let's look at August. Oh, wow. We have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces, and we have the Lovers. How wonderful. This is the second time the Lovers card has come out during this reading. Someone does have a romantic interest coming their way. Be still in your manifestations. Be still in your manifestations. So with the apples on this tree, I'm being reminded of the story of Adam and Eve. Maybe someone is taking a visit to the store, Adam and Eve. um, But yeah, be mindful, meditate, be still in your manifestations. Don't get so caught up in being excited about like, oh my God, it's here, it's here, it's here. Because sometimes we can be so hyper focused on calling in whatever that thing is. For some of you for this month, it definitely is a romantic interest. However, be mindful. I know I keep saying that over and over again because that's just what I'm hearing. That's what I'm picking up on. But meditate and contemplate to find out if this is truly what is for you. You don't have to jump and do and be all of the things for this person right now, especially if this is someone new coming in. Just sit still and watch how they are, watch their actions, pay attention to how they're speaking to you. Do their words and their actions line up? And if they aren't, then you know, like, okay, then truly this is not, the person for me. I am picking up on some twin flame energy. I don't really like saying that word because I have so many different thoughts on that word or that term. Um, but it did come to mind. So let's pull some clarifiers. Pisces energy is known for one of the shadow sides of Pisces energy is known for illusions and deception. Not deception and like saying that Pisces often deceive people, but Pisces are known to kind of look at things through a bunch of like rose colored glasses, um, seeing more potential than actual action, if you catch my drift. So just be mindful of how you may be deceiving yourself by tapping into any illusions. You might want to check out where Neptune is or what Neptune is doing during this month. This is a lot of information coming through. So I do recommend coming back to this reading like at the start of every month just to see like how this is playing out or what guidance you're being given while reading or while watching this reading. I will be time stamping in the comments for each month so you can easily find each month. But yeah, okay, I'm not being guided to keep shuffling, so let's see. Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, yeah. If there's someone new coming into your life for this month, I don't I don't think they're the one for you. If this is someone new coming into your life for that month. Um you have the Four of Swords in reverse. And in this card, she's mending her heart. How do you mend your heart? Rest. This is the second time the Four of Swords has come up in this message of resting and tending to your heart. For others of you, I'm not picking up on a new love interest per se coming in and like fooling you or you putting them on a pedestal or anything of that nature. I think it's more so you mending your heart and balancing out that masculine and feminine energy, about finding some way to balance yourself out because ooh what's that saying, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy or something like that. If you're working a lot and you're not taking time to rest, you're going to be burned out. So take some time to rest and don't resist the rest that you're being guided to take. um I want to find out some more because I'm just being nosy at this point, but also I want to get some more guidance for you. Guidance for the month of August. Guidance for the month of August. Yep, balance. Got the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards that talks about balance. And specifically, I am picking up on you balancing out your root and your crown chakra. The red and the white in this card. The crown chakra can be associated with the color white or purple, it doesn't matter. We see both, sometimes a light purple. In my Soothed Chakras deck, I use the light purple just because I didn't want to use white on a card. But yeah, find balance this month by resting. I'm also hearing balance your checkbook. In this day and age, who's really carrying around a checkbook? Honestly, I do, but I'm an old soul and I like writing checks sometimes. It makes me feel fancy. But I know a lot of people are not carrying around checkbooks, so just be mindful of your spending this month as well. And be heavy on the balance. Balance that light and that dark. That's another message that's coming through aside from balance is the light and the shadow side. So maybe you haven't played with your light and your shadow side a lot, but your shadow side is not all bad. So don't feel like you have to just do all this hard shadow work and you know life is just so dull and boring, and no, that's not it. Sometimes playing with our shadow side will literally save our lives. Nothing will come of this situation. Void of course moon and Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So if you met someone in the previous month, or if you meet someone in the month of August, um, I don't like to speak in definitives because, as I said earlier, energy is always changing. Excuse me, but the card literally says nothing will come of this situation. Void of course moon. And with the Two of Cups in reverse, there's a lack of reciprocity. Y'all two are speaking on different languages, like on different planes. Um, there's a lack of inner union. You may, like I said, if there was someone that you started talking to in the previous month, I'm not talking about, you've been with your boo for several months and, you hit an argument. That's this reading, this part of the reading is not saying that you have to break up with your partner or anything of that nature. But what I am saying is that if you met someone in the previous month and y'all just started talking, there is a high possibility that you could stop talking to them abruptly, but don't think about it too much, is what I just heard. And I did hear in the previous month that twin flame energy. I do pick up on the fact that this might be a false twin flame. I am noticing on the imagery of this Two of Cups card here, we have the lion again. So this person could be a Leo. You could be a Leo, or their Venus or Mars. If you know their birth time, you can check that out. But aside from the astrology or the astrological symbolism of the lion, it could just be a very prideful person. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that like you were talking to this person like heavily, like I'm talking about caking at night, like into the wee hours of the morning, just like on the phone, talking about everything and nothing at all. Lots of deep conversation, but also like shallow shit, like what's your favorite ice cream, or debating about movies. And then all of a sudden, like you just stop talking to them. Could be health related. I keep being drawn back to this like medic symbol underneath the lion. Spirit, what is your guidance for the collective for this month regarding this false twin flame situation? I'm gonna take that one. Ooh, drop it. 5 of Wands. Like I said, you may abruptly stop talking to this person, but don't worry about it. There could be some sort of like conflict or no conflict at all. Like I said, I was picking up on Leo energy. I feel like with the wands coming out, that confirms that it is some sort of fire. Could be another fire sign, but why should the collective not be worried about this? 7 of Wands. Because you've done the inner work and you need to protect your peace. That's why you don't need to be worried about this. Like, yes, by all means, take time to grieve the loss. Because like I said, I get the sense that this new person, like, they really gave you a lot of hope. But there's a lot of imbalance here, and it could be affecting your mental health. That's the story that I'm getting for this month. The 2 being in reverse and these 2 odd numbers, there's a lack of balance. So you need to protect your peace and do what you can to just, I don't want to say forget this person, but there's a reason that it didn't work out, and you can't, focus on or harp on that situation. Just try your best to move forward.